man. These are fun to do, just talking to random people, folks I know. Building friendships through the internet is fun to do. It's kind of the story of this century. People they're sick of the people they're around, but then they can find all sorts of other people all over the world. And that's great. It's building communities based on interest, communities of pure interest. And that has its weaknesses, but it has its strengths too. People just being together, people sharing their passions with each other, which is very different from so much of the world, which kind of demands competition and games of domineeringness for their own sake. And those exist irrespective of any of what the institutions are. Because no matter what they are, people come in and they play their little status games. And that kills the joy and distracts the focus of anything and everything. People are people. There's good things about people, there's bad things about people. So, am I more of a Rousseauist or, I don't know, a Calvinist? I don't know, man. Everything about John Calvin just makes me angry. Oh, hold on. 1 second. I want to see if I can do this. There we go. I don't know what that did. Did it look at me? Did it change? I don't know. I'm doing this on my phone because I figure it's the easiest way to do it. I tried doing it on my laptop, and I should give that a shot at some point. Get the OBS software. But I just want to try it on my phone another time. Oh, wow, 3 people. Look at my forehead. So, those 2 people who have joined, I don't know who you are. Let me see. Boop, boop. It doesn't tell me. Okay. I don't know, just talking to random people on Saturday night. I think that's a good way to use a Saturday night. The thing is, I don't just yammer about nothing. I mean, well, that depends on what's something and what's nothing. I'm into gaming. I'm into history. I'm into the arts generally, theater especially. Musical theater, I think, is great. But, meeting people, making connections, that's what it's all about. That's what's so great about this internets of ours. Oh, yeah, baby. Some from Semi-Requius. And I'm sorry, folks, you're going to be looking at my forehead a lot because that's the only way I can see the words here. Hello, Semi-Requius. Wow. I have a fan. That is awesome. What are you a fan from? Is it from my, random YouTube takes that are mainly historical? From the Talking Train fandom? Speaking of fandoms, man, the Sonic fandom's in its golden age, isn't it? Hoi 4! Oh my gosh, yes, I did stand up. I did Hoi 4 stand up. I barely mentioned Hoi 4 because honestly, it's too complex for me. I can't get into Paradox stuff. I keep trying, but it's no. The only one I really like is Victoria 2. Because Victoria 2 kind of gets the balance right. Whereas with Hoi 4, it's firstly, I don't really like World War II as a setting generally. I think it's too overdone, too emotional. And with Hoi 4, it's you've got wars and genocides and mass murders going on. And obviously they don't want to show that in the game. But then people come to they just want to conquer stuff for the sake of conquering stuff. I'm no. That might have been true of the Soviets, but the Germans? No, they were doing ethnic purity stuff. Really nasty, very, very nasty. And to what end? It's it pisses people off. No, come on, let's unite against Stalin. No, actually, we want to kill you. You know what? No. That's not good, man. That's not good. But that's why I find World War II extremely dull as a setting. Because it's got that intensity. That drives me nuts, frankly. I mean, people might like the intensity. They like the planes and tanks and stuff. But I like trains. I like big machines that move stuff. That's awesome. Rather than big machines that kill other machines and people. But military history is so fascinating. And there are those who kind of look down on military history, and I get it, because all that operational stuff can get kind of dull. Oh, this unit did this thing at this time. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. What's more interesting is this weapon system was built here, it was distributed here, all the logistics. Like, that's kind of neat, all the logistical stuff. Which shows, I am a train nerd, because trains are all about logistics. They are the force that drives logistics, like a train. But, and train games, there's a lot of them. You got your railroad tycoons. Now everyone else tries to make their own version of Railroad Tycoon. There's Railway Empire, Railroad Corporation. I haven't played them all yet, and I always get tripped up by the signaling systems. I can't stand the signaling systems. It's so complicated. It's like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I know that kills the realism, and I know a big part of the big train companies was it's from train companies that we have daylight savings time. That's wild. It's because of those companies that we have, unions, middle managers, scientific management. Oh, hold on, I got some books here. Let me show you. I went a little crazy, but pick this back up. I got this book all about American railways, and I looked through it, and it's kind of like it's like an operations manual from all the big company heads, from your Vanderbilts and similar. But like when people talk about history, they talk about wars between states, and there's more to history than wars between states. Yeah, you got your armies being piled up, moved around. Most people are dying of disease rather than combat, because it's the logistics of it all, and that's why there are still wars going on. But I think that's like the last gasp of the conception of the fiscal military state. You hear the Ted Kaczynski, industrialization. Like, nah. Even more of a problem than industrialization is the fiscal military state. That and its consequences have been the real disaster for humanity. Because basically you've got all this money, all this effort, all this death in the service of what? Just this big institution meant to fight other institutions that have the same thing. And that idea is kind of disappearing. It's not feasible anymore. Basically, it taxes you to pay for an army to fight other armies. And what do you get from it? Oh, you don't get invaded by another person's army. That's what Clausewitz talks about. But in the 20th century, they came up with the idea, instead of a fiscal military state, to a welfare state. Sure, it's not as heroic, but good. Heroism just gets people killed. The fiscal military state, I don't know, maybe I'm not going to do this for much longer. The fiscal military state it's a protection racket, isn't it? It's a protection racket. You pay your money to get your knights to defend you, to make sure other people's knights can't attack you. It's rather silly. That's probably why the Prussians made war games. Kriegspiel. I gotta try Kriegspiel sometime. Anyone here tried Kriegspiel? My only person watching this. That's because the games I'm into, strategy RPGs. That's kind of my preferred genre, because it combines systemic depth with narrative depth. What it does, the strategy RPG genre, It's the ultimate expression of a hybrid form of a hybrid form. But no one's really here. I'm actually kind of sleepy. I don't think I'm going to do this. Maybe another time when I plan out better. All right, peace out.